Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Underhood Show presented by Mel Hambelton Ford. My name is Phil Nightingale, General Manager. Morning, Josh.
Good morning.
Josh, our Service Director here at Mel Hambelton Ford, taking your calls live at 316-462-3673. It's a call-in show. Love to hear from you. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, whatever it might be. We want to hear from anything in the new product, what's going on there. If you want to hear about anything going on, MH Ford Racing, whatever. Anything you want to talk about in the automobile, we'd love to take your call. And for each and every caller, only show I know you get paid to call in on. What's that package, Josh, for $130?
So we'll mail it out to you, but it's going to consist of the works, which is an oil change and tire rotation. We use Motorcraft oil and filter products here at the dealership. While we're performing that, we're also going to complete a multi-point inspection, checking over the brakes, tires, steering, suspension, all the safety-related components of that vehicle, just making sure that it's ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. You'll also receive yourself $10 to Mel's Diner, so you get all the get yourself something to eat and drink while you're here with us at the big corner. Complete nitrogen for your tires, so you get all the great benefits that nitrogen has to offer for you. And then a BG products package, which is going to consist of a can of MOA or motor oil additive for your engine oil, and then 44K for your fuel system. Again, just getting that vehicle geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving.
All right, so let's get the phones ringing. 316-462-3673. That's the number to the main dealership here. Tell the gals when they answer the phone you want to get patched in the podcast. We'll get you online here and get you that package. I was trying to read Delbert's. Delbert alt says we're backwards. I don't know what he's meaning by backwards. I looked online, we looked to find there, so I'm not sure what he's saying. Jason Cox is in our quick lane, getting serviced up. Hey, Jason, thanks for letting us take care of your vehicle while you're down there. And Delbert again says we're backwards, mirrored. I wonder what he means, because I'm looking online. It looks fine to me, but I don't know. Delbert, you running one of them droids or something? Maybe got something going on instead of an Apple phone? No, I'm kidding. That's kind of funny. I don't know. Not sure what's going on there.
So your the verbiage and stuff is backwards. Yeah, it is backwards. I thought something looked odd.
Now I got you.
Yeah. So he was right. It's we were just actually, that was it was a competition to see who the first person was that noticed it.
Oh, is that what it was?
And he's got it. So
yeah.
We're switched around. I swore this morning, I was like, man, something seems odd. And I didn't pick it up. I thought we just looked really small.
What setting we got jacked up this time, Josh? Well, at least we're not backwards. If the sign in the back is backwards. So Tim Daniel just hit me up too, showing me a picture of it's backwards. Yeah, I get it. What'd you do, Josh?
No. I was not here last week, and this is how
I wonder if it was that way last week.
I looked, or I watched some of last week, but I never picked up on it. So
I don't know. We'll have to get that figured out. Anyway, morning Delbert, morning Jason, morning James Furman, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Again, Jason Cox, thanks for letting us take care of you down there at Quick Lane. And Delbert said it was fine last week, Josh. So I hate to tell you. Thanks, Delbert. Really appreciate that one. Love it. Yeah, so I don't know. Some setting somewhere. Everybody, you're going to have to just look backwards for this show to be figured out.
Turn your screen around.
Turn your screen around.
Got to be honest, not much here for TV anyway. So. More of a radio voice than a TV deal. That's my neighbor used to say that he was on the news occasionally, but then also did a segment on radio. And he said everybody always kept telling him he had a
see, Furman's even chiming in for you. Way to go, Josh.
Face for TV. So
there you go, face for TV. Anyway, so this week Mel Hambelton Racing is in DuQuoin. What did Nick tell me? Iowa?
Yep.
Illinois.
Yep. I think it's DuQuoin, Iowa.
Illinois.
Okay, yeah. And that is for the
Arena Cross. And guess who was on the podium last night for first place? Who's your tires in Mel Hambelton Ford?
And so what they say last week, that first, second, and third was all
on the podium for the final race of the day was Hoosier Tire 123. So very cool for Hoosier Tires.
Yeah.
In the arena cross. This is step just 2 or 3.
I think this is the third
of 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, I texted Tyler Strickler. He's our motocross expert that's out in the field servicing these guys up and everything. I texted him this morning. Who knows? He might have got to bed late or whatever too. Would have loved to hear from him and how what's going on. And yeah, Furman says, Josh, Iowa, Illinois, same thing. Man, you're getting fired at a lot, Josh.
That's okay. I'll take it. I mean, whoever displays a screen backwards, I kept staring at that thing going, man, there's just something seems off, and never even dawned on me on that.
I wonder what that is.
I don't know.
The computer go through an update or something?
There's a setting right here, I bet, but you go messing with something, and
then we're going to lose everybody is what we'll do.
Gone.
So we won't. You're going to have to just look backwards today, guys. Sorry. Anyway, so again, Tyler Strickler is in DuQuoin, Illinois, doing our motocross event, arena cross. So I've texted him this morning. Hopefully he can get on here and kind of give us an update of what's happening there, what's going on, and everything else too. And I'm not sure where they head out to next.
I almost want to say that they're in like Kansas City next, but I'm not 100% sure on that for sure.
Anyway, this is third stop, isn't it?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, I can't remember now. Anyway, so we'll see if we can get Tyler Strickler online here and talk to us. Hey, everybody, let's get the phones ringing. 316-462-3673. Only show I know you get paid on. Hey, there's Tyler. Hit me back. Call in here, buddy. And we'll get an update and see how everything's going with the arena cross there in Illinois. So we'll give a few seconds here for Tyler to get called in and get dialed up and everything else too. So, Josh, we are getting geared up for PRI, which is just a couple weeks away. Can't believe it's that way.
Yeah, it is crazy to think that it's November already and, fast approaching December for sure. So
anyway, I'm texting Tyler.
To get him called in here. He was pretty excited, especially when we were going through talking about the last event and that first, second, and third podium on Hoosier. He was definitely pumped for that, and he really enjoys the arena cross side of things, or just the motocross side of things. He's definitely very into that. He was showing us some of the tires that they had brought back from the event that they were kind of siping and then
testing, kind of do some testing stuff on
doing a little bit of testing with, and how they were wearing for sure. But it sounded like it was definitely a good deal for those riders to be on those Hoosiers for sure.
Well, we'll see what we can do. We'll get an update here from Tyler here shortly and how everything else is going up there and stuff too. So anyway, talking about getting ready for PRI. For those you don't know, that is a big show in Indianapolis. It's probably the biggest vendor show that a racer can go to and see all the vendors, see the new and latest and greatest stuff. What's going on? We're going to have of course, we're going up also to represent Hoosier. And of course, our booth is right across from the Hoosier booth.
Yep.
And from that part. So Mel Hambelton Racing will be there on display with a couple cars and stuff too, and all the latest and stuff that we have for sale to help, and also still also looking for more vendors to jump on board with us and do our wholesale side of our parts. So we've got a lot of race teams and a lot of race shops and stuff that are buying through us through wholesale, and be exciting to see how many more we can get those things set up and everything else going too. So
it definitely is going to be very busy the next couple of months for sure around here. And I don't know, you get to this time of year and the time change, and it just seems like it goes, so
yep. All right, we're gonna get Tyler passed through here. He's on the main line in there, and we'll get an update here how everything is in DuQuoin, Illinois. And we got to talk about Black Friday here too, Josh. Yep. That's coming. Delbert just reminded me there too. So we'll get, as soon as we get done with Tyler here, that was my plan, and then we'll go in and talk about Black Friday from that part. So
let's go to the phones and talk to Tyler. Tyler, you're on live with Under the Hood. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm a little cold. How you guys doing?
Is it cold up there?
Yeah, it's about 20 degrees and snowing. So.
Oh, but you're inside though, aren't you?
Yeah, we're inside.
Okay, okay, it's all right. Got a heat in there, don't they?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, when they open the big garage door, it kind of changes things. But
yeah, gotta get rid of those exhaust fumes. So how'd it go?
Yeah,
it's going good. So last night was round 3. They do 2 rounds a week, so this is rounds 3 and 4. So tonight will be round 4 of the GT Arena Cross Series. Completely different than last week. It's a bigger racetrack and different soil. Last week we were down in Kansas, right? So we had that hard black clay dirt. This stuff is more loose and loamy, so it makes for a little better racing. Easier on the equipment and tires. So it's been going pretty good.
So let's kind of talk our listeners and viewers. Out at Bar to Bar, that's called a motocross track, and so this is arena cross. Can you kind of tell everybody kind of what the difference between motocross and arena cross really is?
So basically, obviously arena cross is indoors, motocross is outdoors. You have lap times outdoors at a motocross track, probably, around 2 minutes, 2 minutes plus. Bigger jumps, more straightaways, higher speed, more gears. The arena cross is very tight. I think last week lap times were like 21 seconds compared to the outdoors being, like I said, 2 minutes, 2 minutes 30. This track I think is running about 30-second lap times, so significantly smaller.
Less
smaller
forgiving.
jumps,
Yeah.
less straightaways. Yeah, not high gears. Don't get really a lot of speed going indoors, but it makes for some exciting racing.
Yeah. And so when you talk about the differences in the tracks, I know you were showing us some of the tires that you guys had brought back and you guys were kind of testing and working with last week, but just the difference in what always amazes me is just the difference in track and dirt.
Yeah.
Makes a huge difference on how that tire performs and what you got to do to it in regards to, air pressure or siping or grooving or, whatever from there. And how much just plain tire prep makes a difference.
Yeah. I mean, so last week I showed you guys those tires, and they were, you saw them, they were chunked out. The knobs were ripping off. The one that I showed you guys, that was for one main event. So one 20-lap main event. That was all that it was ran on. And it was done, right? This week, the dirt is so different that we've used the same tire all day yesterday, and we're probably going to use it all the way through today's races. We might switch it right before the main. So it just shows completely different soil, does a lot of different things to the tires. And air pressure, we changed that around. We were running like 13 in the front and 13 in the rear. And now we've gone up to 14 in the front, and I think a little bit higher in the rear, just because of how different the soil actually is.
So you're more soft soil here is where you're at. Is that what you're saying than what you had here in Wichita?
Yeah, it's a lot softer, which changes things. Makes it just a lot more forgiving.
Gotcha. So anyway, how many classes are? I mean, out here at Bar to Bar, when I go out there's probably like 20 different classes because of age groups, CC wise, how big the motors are, and that kind of thing too. So is there just one class that races all this, or is there more? Or
so it's kind of like Bar to Bar. I mean, they have pros here, just like they do out of Bar to Bar, but there's also a bunch of amateur classes. There's the little kids on little Pee Wee 50s, right? Then they have the 50 Cobras, the KTMs, 50cc engines, and up from there, 65s, super minis, 85s, 125. So there's about 30 different motos. So that kind of gives you a range of classes and all of that.
That makes sense. So what do you got left? Just race tonight yet is what you've got left there in Du Quoin?
So we have round 4 tonight. So there's practice starts at noon for the amateurs, and then heat races for those amateurs start at 2. Everyone is like 2 heat races, and the pros come in at 5, and they start practice at 5, and then they do their heats about 6, and opening ceremonies about 7 o'clock.
Okay, so let's go in there on a shorter class like that, track like that. Do they still run the big 450 motors, or they got different motors or smaller motors in the pros, or?
So they have a 450 Pro, and then they have 250 Pro. So some of the bikes that we help, the guys are riding 250cc motorcycles, but there's also 450cc here as well in the Pro class.
But I think that'd be hard to control that 450 myself. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I've never rode a 450. I've been on the 252 strokes, which is quite a handful in its own. But the 450s, those things, you just barely press the throttle, and you just got all the power in the world. So
yeah, that's why I must have to have a governor on that thing so you can control it better and everything else too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So how many riders are there? Do you know?
I collectively don't know. I'm guessing probably around 200 if I had to guess.
And all these
Yep.
guys are kind of
Yep.
running this same 8-run deal, right? Kind of deal.
Yeah, so there's 8 weeks, so it's 16 total races, I guess if you want to say it like that. And they're following, a lot of these people follow this series, throughout. It's kind of just in the middle of the country, I guess there's the final round is in Tennessee, but that's pretty far east. And some of these guys come here and prep for, the big Supercross, the stuff that's in the big stadiums, football stadiums and baseball stadiums and stuff. That starts in like January.
Yep.
And like the 250 riders ride, there's a West Coast and an East Coast round out in California. There's a bunch out that way. And then the 250 riders from the West Coast stop. And then there's a 250 East series. So some of these guys are running this whole series and they'll go ride 250 East because it's a different time. It's later in the late winter, early spring.
Okay, well that sounds good. So where's the next stop after DeCoin?
I believe it's Claremore, Oklahoma, in
a little closer
3
home.
weeks.
A little closer.
A little bit closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Tyler, good luck with the Hoosiers down there. We hope we take that podium finish again like we did last week, 1, 2, and 3. But we won last night, right?
We did win last night. Yep.
That's cool. Very cool. So, anything else happening? Anything else exciting to tell our listeners and watchers while you're there? Or anything?
Yeah, I mean, some of the fun things that we get to do behind the scenes, we help some of these pro riders and amateur riders with, with their bikes, getting them, all the Hoosier tires. I've changed a ton of tires. I actually have people kind of waiting on me now to get them changed. We have, BP fuel that we're selling, Sunoco fuel. We just brought on Redline lubricants. We have our Maxima products. I don't know if I said already, but Traxxas.
Yeah,
they let me take those things out right before the show starts, and
that was going to be my next question.
Drive it.
Yeah.
So what'd you take up
try
there?
Not to break it.
What'd you take up there?
I have the sledge.
Okay.
And then Nick broke the X Max last week, so we have a Slash that we're using. I just let one of the young riders drive it around while I'm out there running the sledge, so it's always fun.
Well, and the new car, the what's it called again? XRT.
Yeah, it is.
Besides, you didn't take one of those with you and run around out there, the XRTs. Maybe they're all sold.
I thought about it, but they're so new, and I just didn't know if we had a demo one or if they were sold. Don't want to break that big one.
I don't know. Gonna be fun to try. I need to find if they're all sold. If we have one that's not sold yet, we might have next time when you go to Claremore, Oklahoma, you might have to take that with you.
Yeah, that one's it's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. Well, anyway, Tyler, I heard you say you got people standing in line waiting for your stuff to get done. Appreciate you calling in, and each week we need an update on what's happening. So we'll catch you next week at Claremore, Oklahoma, as Mel Hambelton Racing takes care of the Arena Cross series throughout the country here, and excited for everything we're going. Trailer's working out really good, right?
Oh yeah, it's been good.
Perfect. All right, well, Tyler, thanks for calling in. Thanks for talking to us, and we're going to talk to you next Saturday and see how things are going in Oklahoma.
All righty, thank you. We'll see you.
Thanks. Good luck, buddy. Bye. Anyway, exciting stuff for the Arena Cross, and I wish I knew more about that sport, but I really don't know that much about that sport and everything else too. But I've heard through the grapevine somebody's getting into that sport.
I don't know about getting into the sport, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, come on, fib up.
Yeah,
don't hide everything here. What's going on? You got some.
Well, for one, Christmas. So.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Someone's getting a motorcycle for Christmas. Did you buy two?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of funny. Josh laughs at me and Jake all the time back in the race car, but I got to remind you, you got two of those.
I understand that. Understand that completely. Yep. Understand that completely.
So anyway, very cool, very exciting stuff too. So, hey, let's get the phones ringing. 316-462-3673. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, it doesn't really matter. Anything in racing, anything new products. Love to hear from you. And answer your question and get you a great price package by over $130 for each and every caller. So anyway, like I said, we were talking about PRI and everything else too, getting ready to go here in a couple of weeks, but also coming up Black Friday. If you're not following our Facebook page, you need to jump on there and follow that. And I promise you, you want to be here Friday morning, Black Friday, before 7, because at 7 o'clock we
Yep.
stop the lining. And what we do, we give everybody a number. And Wednesday afternoon, we will roll out the 10 cars that we're going to have for $99 to $999. And these are great cars. They're full of lots of life left in them yet. They've been through the shop. They've been serviced. They're ready to go. Safety-wise, tire-wise, brake-wise, fluids ready to go, body-wise, all that kind of stuff. They're great cars. They're great values and everything else, too. So we'll draw those 10, but then you don't want to leave, because then there's some more drawings and more stuff and some exciting stuff that Lisa's got up her sleeve from that part. We're going to have what we call the corral again. We're going to put a bunch of cars in there, and there's going to be huge money coming off of those cars too. So this is the place to be Black Friday. Lots of prizes, lots of stuff. Like I said, jump on our Facebook page and like and share it so you can keep up on all the updates. We just posted another video here, I believe, just yesterday of everything coming up, but you don't want to miss it. Black Friday here at Mel Hambelton Ford. Got to be in line by 7 o'clock. Get one of those cars.
Yeah. Been going through those in the shop, just getting everything ready to go, and it's it always draws a huge crowd. And then Lisa, just every year we gotta do it bigger, we gotta do it better, And
Yeah.
so it's it feels like and then or,
Yeah,
and then sure, so
and then the there's some other surprises coming.
Mm-hmm.
You just got I almost spit it out,
yeah,
but
careful.
I know. So yeah, just be here Friday morning, Black Friday, by 7 o'clock. If you want to get a number to get a chance to get one of those 10 cars, and then the numbers still go into other drawings we're going to have and other things we got going on. And golly, I wish I could tell more, but I can't. What we're doing after the 10 cars, it's going to be some exciting stuff there too. So everybody stay tuned. Jump on our Facebook page, tell us that you're coming so you get future updates and things coming through the Facebook page from that part for Black Friday. And like Lisa tells me, saying the commercials, no one, and I do believe this, no one does Black Friday like we do. So it's always fun out here that day. It's a little chilly and that sort of thing, but it is November. It's supposed to be chilly and stuff too. So after you had your Thanksgiving dinner and everything else like that, get to bed a little early, jump up and be here by 7 a.m. and it'll be fun. So don't miss Black Friday here at Mel Hambelton Ford. So anyway, Josh, we got I think we're close on the 10 cars there. I think I've got everything approved and stuff too from those. We had a couple that didn't make the cut and that sort of thing too, which is fine.
Well, and I don't know, I think you could even attest to that a little bit. Just I mean, we're literally giving a car away for $99, and what it goes through to meet the standards of $99. I mean, I can assure you that we spend more than that on any one of them in the shop, let alone what we've gave for the value of the car, or even just going through reconditioning the car, cleaning it up.
I'm going to say the least amount we'll have in one of those is $4,000.
Mm-hmm.
The least amount was $4,000 in each one of those cars. So, and remember, they went through the shop. They've been maintained up to spec. If they needed tires, we put tires on. If they needed brakes, we put them on. If they were even marginal, we put stuff on these cars to give them lots of life and everything else too. So yeah, Delbert, I hate to tell you, you're going to have to get up at 4:30. I know,
to make it
here from Oklahoma. So yeah, I hear you, buddy.
Can you say hotel?
Yeah, Delbert, how about that? Come on in the night before. Of course, she's probably got all kinds of fun on Thanksgiving Day too.
Yeah.
So Delbert, excited to see you on Black Friday and everything else too. So don't want to miss the place right here to be at the big corner, be in line before 7, because we cut that line off and away we go. And I kind of wish I could tell and blab the other prizes and things we're going to do, but it's going to be fun. You don't want to miss it. So anyway, Josh, anything exciting happened in the shop this week or anything we got going on there?
So this week we went down to Wichita South, took a couple of vehicles down there, took the Lightning down there, and then one of the Broncos, and visited with the automotive program down there. Last year we had a competition on tire, and this year I was speaking with the instructor down there, Darren, about kind of doing something again this year. There was a couple of the kids were in the class this year that took place, or that were contenders in the competition last year as well. And so it was very interesting to get to revisit with those and touch base with those guys again, and just the camaraderie that I guess built, it just blew me away. And, that's something that we just get busy in the day to day around here.
Are we going to do another tire competition?
We're going to do another competition. So we were talking about it. The students, I think.
Here, let's go back to so everybody, maybe they don't know what we did last year with South. So go through and tell them what we did last year with South, with the competition with the students.
So essentially we took,
you got first how it started.
Yeah. So it started out, and this started out even the year before that, but we had, we've been a good partner with the area of OTEX, between the high school automotive programs, and then through WSU Tech, and so we have a lot of involvement in a lot of these automotive programs. And just for one, whenever I'm visiting these classes, there's obviously the first thing is we're looking for good help around here, first and foremost. But then also the other side of this for me is anything I can do to help somebody make a decision as to a career path or which way they're going to go, and they can kind of, I guess, get that on an express track. Because the closer they can get from where they are to a career instead of where they are to just a job, and going from job to job to job to try and find out what it is they want to do, it's a huge benefit. The sooner that they can get to a career and doing what they want to do, it's a benefit to that individual. And so I always talk about the industry in a positive light, but also understand that industry isn't for everybody. And so the sooner that these young individuals can figure that out, and then also just all the different options they have as far as after high school and post education, and being able to fast track that through like the OSU program, where they have a Ford specific training as opposed to just going to like a WyoTech or one of those facilities. Not that there's anything wrong with those, but if that's specifically what you want to do, you get manufacturer specific training that kind of puts you ahead of the game even still yet in the same amount of time that you may spend at one of those other schools. So anything we can do to help express those individuals to a career, I'm all for. And so we've got a relationship with these VOTECs, and typically we'll go out to them a couple times a year, and then we invite them to come to the dealership, and we tour everything. I mean, we go through the shop, we talk about right and service, go through the parts department, the warehouse, we talk about Hoosier Tires and what we're doing there, and the MH Ford Racing and kind of what all that involved in. And so, the hope is to just show them a lot of different options. And so through one of the tours a couple years ago, we were down at the Quick Lane, and jokingly, a little harassment. It was jokingly. He did not mean it, but we're walking through there, and there was a couple guys putting on tires on a vehicle, and it was, they were not letting any grass grow underneath them by any means. And one of the kids piped up and said, I can do that way quicker than he can, meaning one of our employees. And then he had a buddy with him and kind of was laughing about it. And then he's like, oh yeah, we could definitely do a better job. And so I keyed up on that and picked up on that, and I challenged them to a competition at that point. Well, we had donated a Focus to that school, because you go into a lot of these VOTECs or automotive classes, right, and just seeing the tools and equipment that they're using, typically the age of vehicle that they're working on, it's a great entry level start to it, but it's really not a accurate depiction of what they would be going into. And recognizing that and knowing that there's a potential for us, employing some of these individuals, want to give them the best tools and equipment we can and everything like that. And so donating a Focus to them, and the ability to communicate with it through scanners and things like that. So we decided to come up with a tire competition. So he took the class. I don't know exactly how many students there were in there, but basically we broke it down, and we just pretty simple. It was changing a tire. So there was The vehicle was already on a lift. There was one individual that was responsible for removing and reinstalling the tire and training the tire pressure monitors on it. The other individual was responsible for mounting it, and then an individual was responsible for balancing it. So there was the 4 different positions.
4 people, 4 positions, like a relay.
Like a relay. And so he went through and basically divided it up with the class, and everybody got to compete for a spot
right?
to be on the relay team. And so we went through and we went down and kind of trained and helped them kind of go through this and anything to help speed them up or give them tips or anything like that a couple different times. And so the 4 that won the spot on the relay team.
Yeah. Did a kid that started the whole thing, did he make the team?
Okay, so
that's the thing.
Yeah. He was on the team. So the 4 that got the spots, we provided tools for them. So I went and got a set of tools for them, just kind of a basic or entry level set of hand tools. And so they got that. Then, so those 4 guys went through and did the process, and we timed it. Okay. Well, from start to finish, and then one of our technicians did the whole relay from start to finish, just one individual, and we timed that. And whoever won that got $250. So if it was the relay team of 4, each one of them got $250, or if it was our tech, he got $250. Well, so what had happened was, when they did this, when we did the competition down there, it was a dead tie on 2 guys for mounting or dismounting and mounting the tire. So the day of the competition, we flipped a coin to see who got to compete in the competition. Okay. So what we did is we went through, they did theirs first, and then our tech did the job. And I don't remember the times, but we blew them away. But what happened was the guy that did the dismounting and remounting, it was anxiety. He had stage fright. He just kind of froze up. And so what we did is we took everybody's time, or took his time specifically, out of the equation. And then we let the second guy go that tied for that mounting and dismounting portion of it. And so they almost had like a second chance to come back and do it. So we took everybody else's time and then started that guy's time, and it come back. I mean, it was within a minute or 2 difference. I mean,
I thought maybe you put 2 cars in a rack, had 2 deals, and you just timed it. That's what we need to do. We need to do a live deal.
Yeah.
I think we need to do it again. Or are you going to do a different competition?
So we were talking about that. And then this year we were talking about doing the works. So an oil change and tire rotation, like resetting the light, checking over all the tire pressures, and then doing a good multi-point inspection.
Hey, Darren's now popping here saying they were close.
He may know exactly what the times were. It was close. It was really but it was a good competitive in nature. I think everybody really enjoyed it. So this year we've talked about maybe doing a multi-point. Or the works overall with a multi-point inspection, and then having basically kind of different bugs on the car, and each one of those that's missed, docks you in time or adds points to it. And the reason, that I was thinking this one is, that's those kids that are coming from that class, that's typically where they would start out with us.
Exactly.
But then also, I want everybody to understand the value of what that multi-point is. And when you're looking a vehicle over, how important it is to be thorough, to be correct. Don't guess at something. You can't just take a look at a brake lining and say, it's you pretty well know if it's good or bad. But to a consumer, if they come in one time and they've got 7/30 seconds aligning, or we tell them they have 7/30 seconds aligning, and then the next time we tell them they have 9 or 10, you lose all credibility. That's not what we're about. And so, to me, the importance of that multi-point. So if Darren's on there, he can call in.
Come on, Darren, call in here. Let's talk about what we're going to do this competition with the kids. I shouldn't call them kids, students.
Yeah.
Love to see that competition. when I was going to Votech School in Salina, we went to the VICA contest, and it was right here in Wichita.
Yeah.
And so I know about that, getting nervous and stuff when you get going and everything else too. And where I lost the competition was they had an alternator apart, and you had to put it back together. And there's 2 brushes you got to put down inside there that got to have a little spring on them, and you got to put a pin through it. And I screwed that up by so bad I couldn't.
It didn't work when it was done, or
no, my time just went because I couldn't get that thing lined up right, pushed in there right now. But in regards,
and that's I think that's another thing that maybe got us on this maintenance side of things, because it sounds like they've changed the VICA Skills competition a little bit. I think it's now Skills USA to begin
that's
with.
Probably right.
We'll have to get some information from Darren on that. But they're doing more of a maintenance side of things on that skills competition as well. And so, again, it's just good to have that relationship and to help those students in any way, shape, or form. Again, at the end of the day, even if it's not a benefit for us, I mean, we get a lot out of it, and it's definitely been a positive relationship for us as well. But to help those individuals long term is huge to me.
Yeah, well, here's my analysis of some of this stuff, and my opinion of this too. Was back in the day when I went to Votech school, the students that couldn't perform well got put off into Votech school.
Yeah,
didn't go to a 4-year college, so I was looked down upon because I was going to Votech school. Well, I'm going to tell you, could I have went to 4-year college? Yeah, I could have, but I wanted to do that or put the emphasis to get good at that. No, I wouldn't have, but because I knew what I wanted to do. But back in the day, that's what they did. They took the underperforming students. They didn't have the best grades in the world. They shoved them into the Votech school. Today, that's not the deal. We have to change the mindsets of even the parents, but mainly the school counselors that doesn't think that they have to put every kid through a 4-year college. You have to have a 4-year college degree.
Well, and it just wasn't, high school wasn't my thing. That wasn't the environment that I learned in or, got the most out of. And it's not that I couldn't have done it. I just, that's not where I needed to be. No.
And we'll get Darren patched in from South High, the instructor there that's going to be involved in this competition. We'll talk about that here in just a second, so he'll be on here live. But that's the thing. If you're a parent out there and you've got a junior high or even a 7th and 8th grader or whatever that doesn't know what they want to do or whatever, that's the time to really be planning for this. And back in, we got technicians back here making 6-figure incomes that, you wouldn't believe that or whatever from that part. But that's the whole thing. There is these young students need direction and stuff, and we're here to give them some direction. And let's go back to Darren. Not back to Darren. Let's get Darren on live. Darren, you're live. Go ahead, buddy.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Hey, thanks for calling in. So we're going to have another little friendly competition, I hear. So
yeah, I got one in the works for sure.
That's cool. So you're going to have another competition to see who gets on the. We're going to do teams of what, 2?
Yeah. So we've got a lot of discussions still back and forth. But again, at the end of the day, I think both of our goals is to get the whole class involved, give everybody an opportunity. Also, kind of dangle a carrot out in front of them of motivation as far as getting them some tools. I think tools is huge, especially if this is, something they're interested in. I talked to a lot of those students off the bat or right then of the ones that were in the competition last year. And we were going through just talking about conversations, if they still had their tools and if they use them. And, got a lot of, every day, from that side of things. And
I think we got to do it live. This is my opinion. You guys decide what you want to do. My opinion is we get 2 sets of teams. 2 from the store of 2-man team, and Darren, you get 2-man teams. And whether we go to South or we come here to the main store and we do it live and we time it and have a competition, so we have 2 teams going. So get more people involved. If you want to get more teams involved, I don't care. We could get 4 or 5 teams going, of teams of 2, and have a first, second, third place and kind of see how it goes. But I think this is huge. It's fun. I mean, because it is right when these kids come out of your class, Darren, they're going to be, that's where they need to start is in the quick lane. And the most things we do is that works package. Yeah. So
we talked about that, and then it sounded like you guys were getting ready to get a Revolution tire machine. Is that correct? You're maybe a couple of weeks away from that as well.
Maybe a little more than a couple of weeks. Yeah. But it has been approved, and we're just kind of waiting for that to be delivered to the shop. So we're really excited about that one too.
Well, let's tell everybody what that Revolution is, because it is a revolution basically, but what we're talking about there.
And so that's the latest, basically, tire changing equipment from Hunter, and it is, for the most part, pretty much an automated tire changer as well. And as these vehicles become newer, and everybody, the wheels and tires are getting larger on it, and you have thinner sidewalls and higher dollar rims as well. And this tire changer is, for the most part, automated. It does a much better job on the stiffer sidewall tires, and without damaging rims. But then the other side of it is just the wear and tear on the individual that's actually operating it. I think Hunter's done a really good job of taking that into consideration when they're manufacturing their equipment, is to help the technicians, so long term just the wear and tear on their bodies is not near as bad from that side of things. So very excited for you guys to be able to get that piece of equipment as well, just with it being what we use and stuff like that. I think it'll be a huge asset for you guys, but then also, for those individuals that learn how to operate on that equipment later on down the road. So that's huge.
Yeah, we're excited about it for sure. It just makes it a lot easier transition from our classroom into your world.
Yeah.
To be able to see that piece of equipment, especially. So we're excited about it.
Yeah, excited for that too. It's be fun to see that first time the guys started to use it and stuff too. And of course, not to change the subject here, Mr. Johnny Nitro says, looks like Phil's changed a lot of tires. Well, that's no kidding. I have changed a lot of tires. I can promise you that. And the hard way too.
Yeah.
And that's his talking about the wear and tear on your body and stuff too. It was one evening I was working at my dad's shop, and we're running the old Coach 2020 machine. Back then, that was the latest and greatest machine to have too. And that bar come around and stuck in my rim and then shot off there. And that arm, it hit me in the arm and cut my arm and everything else. And I've had some times when swinging the hammer with the tires and all that kind of stuff. And, so yeah, I think that Revolution is cool. Now, some of the guys will tell me anyway that the Revolution is as fast on some as it is on the others. But, man, as expensive these rims are today and expensive these tires are today, you can dismount it. You can mount a tire wrong and tear a bead or do something too. But, Darren, have you been on the Revolution at all?
I have not.
Okay, well, that's
so
cool.
This is a new experience for me as well. I've seen them used, obviously, with Hunter demonstrations. So I like it because I'm getting older, so I don't like the Revolution tires as much. But I can see the benefits of it from that aspect of it too. That wear and tear is a big deal over time. So yeah, we're excited for it, and just to see it work. I haven't actually done it though, so I'm going to be on that learning curve as well.
Well, here's what you do. You say you're still a couple weeks away from getting it?
I don't know the exact time on that. And of course, a lot of the processes that we have to do with it could be 2 weeks or 2 months, maybe even more.
So what I was going to suggest, why don't you grab a few of your students and stuff and come down here and let's play with ours. We've got one in each store. Well, we got 3 of them, don't we?
Yeah.
And we got 3 of them. So let's just get your students to come out here and let's start practicing on the thing before you get your machine. Be a little ahead of the game. If you got time to do that or whatever, can put it in your schedule. Love to have the kids come out and demonstrate that thing for you.
Yeah.
So
that'd be a great idea.
So after, because I see the beginning sides of this, and then when I'm there talking with the students and kind of the lights in their eyes and stuff like that when we're down there. But, after we leave, us being there and them seeing like the Lightning or the new products, how much of a motivator do you see in the students of that being?
So after you left, that was funny that you even mentioned that, because after you left, I had 3 or 4 that kind of hung out, and they're like, Culver, you need to teach us this electrical stuff. I was like, well, we've done it. You've learned it. Well, I need to do a little more. So just you guys talking about that aspect of it, and they've heard it from me, 100 times, but hearing it from somebody else, and that, with you and Kelly and the stories that you guys can tell, sometimes it just does give it a little bit of an extra spark for them. And they're all fired up again. They're like, all right, so what can we do to bug these to get this electrical down? It was pretty fun to just sit back and listen to them talk about it after you guys left. So it does really pique them again, after this grind that we've had for the first 2 or 3 months here, and
Yeah.
we'll keep riding that wave until, we get out there. And this is the kind of things that we like to have, and it keeps their interest at the highest level there.
And the other thing,
so it was great.
Yeah, the other thing I was going to throw out there too, Darren, you got those 3 or 4 that really want to excel and want to go. I mean, if you want to bring them out here and let them work with one of our techs for a few hours or something like that, we'd love to have that happen too. They can get more involved with real world electrical, because that is where this world's at now. It's in the electronics, it's in the tech, it's in the computers, and Darren, it's like I said back in my day, wrenching on a car. If you walked into a shop and the technician had his shop manual out, he didn't have a clue what he was doing. Today, if they don't have their laptop out, they don't know what the heck they're doing from that part.
Right.
So a lot of difference in the world, and the amount of time from when I was a tech till today, and I know how much I would have loved to have had that even back in my day, to be able to go work in a shop for a few hours to do some stuff like that too.
Yes, and we've had experience with that before. We've sent some students your way, and they were able to shadow a tech and one day, and then even a parts guy one day. They've been able to experience that. We need to get back on it. I think this year would be great to fire that back up and let some of these kids get out there, because a lot of them, this is what they're going to do.
Yep.
Agreed. So anyway, can't wait for the competition. We'll have to get Big Corner Creative involved with the videos and have several different cameras set up and stuff like that. That'd be fun. Got to be fun. I have to be in the middle of that.
Yes,
I have to get a team
to it.
Yeah. So Darren, again, thanks for letting us be part of your school and your program and everything else there, and excited what we can do to help you more in the future and stuff like that too. But let's get this competition going. Let's get these kids out here, have them involved in some more or whatever, and love to help you guys. And
the other side of it is just thank you for what you do, because it takes a special person to be able to do that. And, from that side of things, and just the patience. And, when we're doing when we were down there kind of helping or training for the tire competition, and just kind of overseeing some of those students, just in prep or getting ready, it's takes everything of my power to not just jump in there and try to do it for them, from that side of things.
And so it takes a lot, but it's the whole community.
Yeah.
Guys, I appreciate you guys as well. It's part of it, but I really, really appreciate you guys coming out and being part of the program as well. It goes a long ways, more than you know.
Sure. Yep. Well, very good. Got a lot of exciting stuff to come. We'll have to get you back in here and on the show with us as we kind of go through this thing and set up some scenarios and ideas, and again, just whatever we can do to help each other out and make it a better experience for those guys. All for it. So, all right.
Sounds good.
Darren, thanks for everything, and let's keep this ball rolling. But there's competition next week when we have. I'm kidding. I'm excited for this. It'll be fun.
A little more time than that.
Yeah. We definitely want to make sure that at the end of the day, you got to make it fun and enjoyable for everybody. You don't want anybody walking away with feeling like they just got it handed to them for sure. So, but very interesting. Well, Darren, again, thanks for your time, and have a good rest of your day, buddy.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
You too. All right. 316-462-3673. Just a little bit left on the show, and not much left, Josh.
Yeah. And, I kind of just going back and talking about the I guess process or on the automotive side of things, and talking with those students. Darren had made the comment about electrical, and that's one of the things that I told the students that I felt was other than just drive and motivation, being in this industry, the most important thing to have a very good grasp on was electrical. And to be able to understand that at an entry level, because as you advance in the career as a technician, it's just going to multiply, and it's going to get harder and harder and harder. And if you don't have just the basics of it down, it's going to be so much harder. And how much the electrical side of things mirrors just the diagnostical side of things when you're going through a trouble tree and things like that. There's a lot of cases where a technician will have an issue with a vehicle and they can literally pull up a wiring diagram and, almost fix the vehicle without even really touching a vehicle or understand what's going on just by a couple of steps one way or the other, as opposed to going through a complete flow chart of having to do 20 or 30 steps. But having a good base knowledge of the electrical side of the vehicle, and then how to work a DVOM, or having the right tools and equipment is huge and important for those individuals. And so,
yep, totally agree. So anyway, I'm excited for that competition. I can't wait to see are you going to have a competition to see who can do it on our side?
So what we've done previously is selected students that came out of that specific class. So we've done it with WSU, and I've got an individual that came from WSU and then down south. So I've tried to get somebody who has been through a competition of some sort previously. Just one, to see the other side of the coin, but then two, I think those students then are able to see that, hey, this guy literally went through this class and here's where he's at.
I guess if we get 2 or 3 teams together, you can have all kinds of different stuff going on.
There's
or whatever.
There's a million different ways to skin this cat and to make things happen. And so we just always try to keep it very interesting for everybody involved, for sure. So
yeah, it'll be fun to do it live and have that going live. Get several cameras set up and everything else too. We'll watch this thing and go down and time it up and. Yeah, so let's get all the rules dialed in. Let's get this. I'm excited for this. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
I'd have to get me a team together. See what we can do with that. What do you think, Josh?
That would be that would definitely
be interesting. Wouldn't it? I probably could lose some points on something. Got to be going too fast or whatever. So anyway, yeah, we'll get Big Corner Creative involved in doing the videos and do it live. And again, Big Corner Creative, one of our great partners of the show, but also part of Mel Hambelton Ford, complete advertising group down there. Jesse's got a great team down there that. If your business needs some help advertising, needs a web page, needs anything social media wise or whatever, he's got a group for each division down there to help you advertise your company. And then back in the vehicle wraps and Josh, we're taking on another big thing with Big Corner Creative with another company for a wrap deal. We're going to have to, I don't know. It's going to be interesting how that plays out, but we just signed a big contract with another group. Can't really talk about it too much yet. It's going to take Big Corner Creative wrap system into a whole nother level.
Very good.
Can't wait for that too. And of course, window tinting and all that kind of stuff. But again, all those things that Jesse has down there at Big Corner Creative, as they say, just Google them.
Yep.
And then Josh, the other thing we need to do, I think we need to get on this works competition. We got to get BG involved.
Yep. Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think they can. Maybe they need to put their guys in the competition too, that are down there in their shop and everything else too. So we'll get BG Products involved. And of course, that's another great partner we have with those guys. And, Josh, that partnership keeps growing. They bought Metro Express and they're hauling all of our Hoosiers for us.
Yeah.
So another good partnership there that happened there with BG Products owning Midwest Metro Express Trucking from that part. So amazing how the companies work together in and out and everything else too. Yeah. But I called Kerry Selway back a couple years ago to figure out ways of getting tires out of Indianapolis instead of once every other week. We can get them weekly now from Hoosier from that start. So appreciate the partnership with BG Products. And again, anything that helps keep your car running many more miles is where it's at. So anyway, Josh, any last comments, questions, anything at all? Anything happening?
We're getting to that time of the year for sure that, with daylight savings and stuff like that.
God, we're about done with that.
Yeah. Or just started, one or the other.
Yeah.
But the tires, it's definitely the time of year to start thinking about tires. We got some huge rebates out now. Either mail-in rebates of up to $75 or up to $100 back on the Ford Pass rewards on several different manufacturers of tires. But I promise, if you're in the market for tires, you won't find a better place to buy them and more of a selection for sure.
That's right. The selection and price match guarantee for up to 30 days after the fact, right?
Yep.
So Anyway, get your car ready for winter. Don't wait till the last minute. And then last one thing is, if you need something bigger to get to Grandma's house, I hope you got a reservation ready for Stan. He's still about half the inventory that he usually has because of these inventory things we got going on with the new cars. But if you need something bigger to get to Grandma's house for the holidays, make sure you get on the phone with Stan at Go To Rent right inside here at Mel Hambelton Ford. Last but not least, Black Friday, can't remind you enough to be out here before 7 a.m. in line, ready to go to get your number. Got the 10 cars starting at $99 to $999. And again, they're great cars full of lots of life left in them. Probably, like I said, the minimum we have in those cars is probably the bottom dollar is about $4,000. That's how much these cars are good and they're ready to go and back through the shop and maintained, and tires and brakes and everything is in good shape and everything else too. And I'm with you, Delbert. Shoot winter. I'm with you. From that part. So, and then after the 10 cars, you don't want to leave because there's more surprises coming. And then even more after that, then we're going to have our corral out there with about 50 cars in the corral with some huge marks off of those two for Black Friday. And we've even talked about if we don't sell all 50 of them on Black Friday, we'll go into Saturday with it. But I hate to tell you, but Saturday's going to be half the money that it was on Friday.
Yeah.
To make the Black Friday worth the value and everything else too. So, hey, everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And thanks for the calls and everybody. Can't wait for that competition. It's going to be fun. Everybody have a great and warm weekend, and we'll talk to you next Saturday.